Hello walkers, and welcome to Colorado Springs. Welcome back to Colorado Springs. It is about 10 a.m., 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius. And this is our second Colorado Springs walk. Had a beautiful walk downtown earlier this morning, and now we're going to branch out. I believe this is Bijou Park. Nope, it says Acacia Park over there anyway. And we are going to sort of do a little view of the park and walk through, and then we're going to head south. Head north to the right and explore up towards Colorado College. And then eventually I think we'll do a little walk around Colorado College, and I just have to keep talking without intermittence while I pass all this music so that I don't trigger the YouTube algorithm. And then they turned it off. Nice. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, as we head west towards, I think that's Pikes Peak, but I cannot guarantee it. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of information, and I probably won't talk that much today, but I will ask you to leave me a comment. I love your comments, love your stories and your thoughts and your constructive feedback and all that fun stuff. And so I would appreciate it if you would leave it in the YouTube comments. Give us a like and a thumbs up, and then subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell to get notified. This is Tejon, and off to the left is Bijou Street, hence what I thought was the name of the park. We're going to take a quick loop through the park just to see what it's like, because it's kind of cool. They have that goose over to the left, but then they've got this thing here, and it looks like this might be a little spray park, which is kind of cool. My kids always love those. And then there's a playground. Off to the right is a band shell, and behind it a little mini coffee hut. And there's no smoking. I love that. And, oh, look at this. They even have an ice rink, a little mini ice rink. And looks like it's probably not in use, maybe? I don't know. It's a little warm today. It is a beautiful day. It is about, I think I said 10 a.m. in the temperature. I like to do that. Check us out on Instagram, citywalks_virtual travel, Twitter, Walk City, and Facebook, City Walks. And I post things there, other people's walks sometimes, my own photos on Instagram, places that I don't necessarily film walks of, little videos there sometimes, short ones. Looks like they have not zambonied or even flooded it, maybe. Yeah, I would say they haven't even flooded it, which probably makes sense for the situation, the health situation, health reasons. Oh, cool, they're gonna build a little platform out here. Maybe they play some hockey. They've got some nets up. That's interesting. Going back towards Tejon. And one of the reasons I wanted to walk out this way is just the buildings are so beautiful. They're, 120 years old or so. And I like seeing them. This little section down here is a nice little neighborhood on the edge of downtown with a lot of little restaurants and shops and bars and coffee shops. There's a mountain bike store and some certified public accountants. And then Acacia Park building over here. I don't know what this is on plat, nor do I know what that is, but it looks like an old club. Maybe. I can smell somebody's restaurant cooking. I'm a bit spoiled for choice on where to walk. So hopefully I will choose wisely. Where I was going to walk was up this street, Tejon, and back Nevada. But I think I'm going to walk up Tejon and back on Cascade maybe, because there's some, let's go across. There are some neat houses over there. You can see the mountains in the distance. That's the Southern Rockies. That's a little interesting. There's a store up here on the left called Poor Richard's. And there's one of those in, I think it's Bozeman. I know there's Poor Richard's Almanac of Ben Franklin fame. But I wonder if it's a little chain, because that one is a kind of a books, gifts, magazine shop as well, I think, if I remember correctly. And as I talk over the music to prevent the audio from triggering a YouTube copyright issue. There's a gastropub we passed. One of the things I love about some of these cities are the ease with which they have made paid parking. You don't have to have change anymore. You can use apps or credit cards. Rooster's House of Ramen. Josh and John's ice cream. That sounds good. I don't know if I'm in the mood for ice cream just yet. So I don't know if you can see this peaked house in the distance. I think it's a church, but I really love the structure at the top of the church. Well, that's a church, and you can tell it's 10 o'clock. Wild Goose Meeting House. I think that's a religious thing. Looks like a bar. Chase Bank, of course. And then, of course, the Rasta pasta chain. It has to blast music out, and I'm just going to keep on talking. And hopefully they will not pick me out. So I appreciate your patience with that. And it's very, I don't know. Ooh, this U.S. Senate, Michael F. Bennett. Pardon me. I'm sure it's super annoying to listen to me rattle on as I pass those musical things, but it's a little device I use to try not to get copyright violation. It's almost like they weren't even thinking of walking videos on YouTube when they wrote the copyright laws. See that church? I love that. It's almost Germanic. It's not quite Germanic though. It's almost Central European. Very cool. I like it. All right, we're crossing St. Vrain. Never heard of St. Vrain. It is a Saturday morning, hence, I think, or well, at least part of the reason why it's not very busy. few holdouts on the residential side. I was driving around this morning looking for a place to walk. I kept seeing stuff I wanted to show you guys. And one of the streets I came down was this one. And there's this short bit of commercial stuff, but all throughout you get little houses like this. Not little, but sizable houses that are pretty. It's actually a salon. We're going to be crossing Williamette, and then you tuck back there and you see some more houses, and that's the direction we'll come back. Or you can look to the right and see more houses. And I really like these style of houses. They're so beautiful. They're not really, maybe they're Victorian. I don't really think of them. They're a little after Victorian, I think. Not quite as ornate. Edwardian, maybe? I was saying the other day, I don't really know my architecture. This is the Episcopal Church, Grace and St. Stephen's. This must be the residence. It's a beautiful house. I love those porches. But I do know enough terms to probably make myself sound foolish. If you know what that style of that house we just looked at is, or the church, comment. I'd love to know. Giant church here. Very cool. Sorry for that wind. Hopefully the microphone muff thing is catching it, keeping it at a minimum. I have this Scotty Makes vertical axis stabilizer, but if I tilt it up too high, it sort of locks, it goes vertical, and then when I set it back down to go horizontal, it sort of does that little jerky motion. Otherwise, it's a great tool. We just crossed Monument Street. Monument Street. You can hear the chickadees out. I think that's what those are. So we're coming up on Colorado College, and I'm actually going to save that for another walk. Go out here real quick. Some old apartment buildings, looks like, or maybe offices. Former apartment buildings. Looks like people are living upstairs. This is Dale Street coming up here, this crossing. We're gonna make a left on Dale. I think that's the right thing to do, yeah. And we will do Colorado college on our next walk. I think is going to be my plan. And I love this little place. This is Unitarian Universalist Church. Somebody's cooking something cinnamony. And then, I'm not sure, I think this might be apartments. Cool old building. Love those round turret things. I don't know how practical they are. I've never actually lived in a house with a turret. So I'm sure I'm not unique in that. But I guess if you had a built-in desk or maybe a chair, it'd be a beautiful place to read a book in the sunlight. We've got this other super modern building. I assume that's part of the college, but I don't know. We'll find out later. And then this cool house over here with a flat roof, but the eaves stick out. It's kind of neat. Try not to get run over as we go take a look. Oops. Somebody's got their gardens out in the median. Wish we had a wide enough median to do that. Try and scoot in front of these folks. Hi there. I didn't really get to show you the eaves. Sorry, I'm going to swing around. You can kind of see it up there. Anyway, I don't want to oversell it. Not the coolest thing in the world, but close. I make myself laugh sometimes. Okay, off to the right is Colorado College, as I mentioned. And this is Cascade, which also goes downtown. Has these awesome houses. You can see that. I don't even know which side to go on, honestly. They're probably awesome. We'll go on this side. I think that's the best choice. Look at that place. That's awesome. It's nice to be able to walk without wearing gloves again. I think it's warming up fairly quickly. I think it's a high of 43 today. That's what they're calling for. Not quite there, but we're getting there. Neat old truck too. Tempting to go down into that area. Senior living facility. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of actually a nice modernist building, I think, over there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a bike sharing program here called Pike Ride. That's about all I know. They might be electric. They can't be electric. Can they? Ooh, look at this. I like it. Look at this. Yeah. I can't imagine they're electric, as there's no charging. If you know, let me know. Comment. Somebody's got I love this statue. I love cranes too, so those might be herons. I've been fooled before. Sounds like an alarm's going off of some sort. This is the Cascade Park Apartments. Pretty cool a building to live in, both of these. Across the way is some other homes. I wonder if this was part of, these must have been mansions at some point. I'm not really sure where all this money would have come from, other than mining. Yeah, mansions, manors, and carriage houses. They sure are ornate. Coming up on Williamette. And there's my church over there that I like. Obviously not mine. More apartments from old homes. Pardon me. Very cool. Ornate places. I bet those upstairs places have really nice views. This is St. Vrain again. This looks like an old government building. It's converted to Young Life, which is, if you don't know, is a youth Christian organization. I used to go do young life stuff when I was a kid. middle school age, I think, early high school. These houses. That blue one on the left proportionally looks similar to the one on the right, but it's so much bigger. Both cool houses. This is Boulder, obviously, if you can see that sign. Still on Cascade. Across First Church of Christ's Scientist. But I think we are going to go down to Boulder Crescent off to the right here because there's cool houses. And we are really close to downtown. I'm going to go out this way and walk on the street. I find it interesting what houses and buildings manage to stay and others get knocked down to put up apartment buildings. Look at that beautiful house. I imagine at some point they just last so long that they retain their value enough that there's not really makes sense to knock down again. Or somebody holds on to it for so long and then finally the next generation gets a hold of it, or some other entity. So we had that yellow house back there, then we have this not new apartment building, I would guess, it's 60 to 80 years old, and then you've got this brand new thing, which looks like it's going to be pretty cool. And then across the street you have these tiny little places. I mean, we're literally 2 blocks from downtown, and you have these little bungalows. They're not little houses, actually, they're sizable just compared to what we've been seeing. And yet, they're still here. They haven't been knocked down. Maybe at some point there's a historical district of some sort that protects them. Whoa, it's getting icy over here. It's a perilous temperature. We're just right around freezing. Stuff is melted, refrozen, made it all slick. And it hasn't quite melted, but a little bit, just enough to make the sheet ice wet. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Alright, we're coming up on Westview Place. And the park also down here. And that interstate in the distance is Interstate 25. It's the major north-south artery. And I just want to get a view of this park real quick. I don't know anything about it other than it seems to extend off to the north there. And there's a, maybe it doesn't, maybe you can't get across the creek or that river. I'll try to look up what that is. I've got not a lot of power on my phone. Excuse me, so I've got it dimmed down. And hard to see. Monument Creek. Again, these little houses here, just on the very edge of downtown. You can see this super tall buildings in the background. A couple intrepid Canada geese off to the right. I think that must be a power plant releasing all that steam down there. And you've got the mountains in the background. Absolutely beautiful. They're calling for snow in the mountains this afternoon, but I don't see it, not this far south. But who knows? Trying to get a view of the sign. Bijou Street again. Okay, so I'm not sure what church that is. And I'm tempted to cross, but the traffic is a little scary. Got the Hilton Garden Inn, which is downtown. And I think we walked around that in the earlier walk. I think that church must be St. Mary's. I see a couple St. Mary's Cathedral signs. like it when I catch the light, because these lights, I was noticing this morning, these lights last forever. A few of them anyway. I may be hyperbolizing there. Oops. Bookstores, comic books. I feel like I must have come down here. Maybe it was in the last walk? Yeah, it must have been. So we are covering some pre-existing ground. A guy in shorts and no shirt wildly skateboarding down the street. I love it. So we're coming back to the park, but I'm going to keep going just a little bit because I want to explore the other side. I'd originally planned to come down the eastern version of that street, Nevada, and changed my mind. And also I can comment about, I know it's a cliche about people being on their phones all the time, but in yesterday I was walking around, saw a fair number of people out and about, and I didn't see nearly the number of people just hanging out on their phones. And I don't know what it is about here, but I've seen a ton of them, and I wonder if they're playing Pokemon Go or waiting for a spot in a restaurant in the sun. I don't know. Anyway, we're back to the park. I smelled a lot of marijuana. And we're going to continue over to Nevada Street. I see some dogs anxiously sticking their heads out of the car window. Waiting for their owners to come back, I assume. Hi pups, how you doing? They look like they would bark. Oh yeah, the Pioneers Museum. If you're interested in the Pioneer Museum, I walked around the outside of it in my earlier walk. It's a very cool museum, at least from the outside. I'd love to go see the inside. I have to hustle here. I think I'm just going to keep going this direction and see what we find. This is the YMCA here. A lot of, there's a group of people exercising in there. YMCA stands for Young Men's Christian Association. And I assume that was its origins, but I'm not sure what their primary mission is now. They have a lot of athletic facilities around. I'm hoping after another block we'll see something interesting here. Again, this is a bit of an exploration. I have to wait to see what street this is when I can see a sign. Weber Street. And I think we're going to go down this little hill here and see what's there. Although I'm a little hesitant because I parked by the park and I don't want to get too far from my car. It looks interesting down here, so we'll check it out. Gonna end up on Wasatch. Looks like a busy road. What? I saw these houses down here and I thought maybe there'd be a neighborhood. Well, it looks like there's a neighborhood. But off to the left, there's also a McDonald's. And then more fast food down that way. Well, we'll go across. See what's off to the right here. Yeah, we do get into a neighborhood back here. Nice. Just hit my 10,000 steps for the day. Hi there. We'll go down here to this little park and check that out. This is less mansion-y, but still a cute little area, neighborhood. Makes me think of the Midwest for some reason. Maybe it's all the non-softwoods, all the hardwoods here. Although that cottonwoods can't really be a hardwood. John Prairie Dog O'Byrne Park down that way. And more houses down this way. So I think we'll go check out this creek. I think we're going to call it. We're at 40-something minutes. Appreciate you guys joining me this morning here in Colorado Springs. Hope you enjoyed the walk. I've enjoyed walking around with you. Leave us a comment, your feedback, your thoughts, your stories. I love hearing them. And then, of course, subscribe and like and stuff like that. So tell your friends. But I guess most importantly, come back next time. We will see you again soon. Until then, as we cross Corona and Bijou Street here, we'll see you again soon. Take care, hang in there. All the best.